What's up everybody, Silver here with another Halo Wars 2 achievement guide. This time we are doing part 9 of our legendary run. There are 12 missions in all. This is the 9th one called Under the Dark, so start this one up. You start off with 4 snipers here. 2 are already garrisoned, so throw the one of your other ones into the garrison on the left, and you will have 3 garrisoned and 1 just on its own. They'll pretty much take out these guys on their own. I decided to make the one in the middle, who was not in a garrison, retreat here. Again, this is legendary, Under the Dark. This is our legendary run through. So I have a few skulls on here to start. I have on Pestilence, which is the reason why all of my units and all of the enemy units will be decreasing their health over their lifespan. So as soon as any units, yours or theirs, spawn in, they will start slowly losing health over the course of their life until they get down to about 10%, and then they just kind of hover there until they start taking actual damage from another unit. So that's going to help us out, especially with these snipers. These long-range snipers will take out these guys with no health very quickly. Make sure you keep your distance. Just take it slow in this beginning part. I like to go up to the right here because I have the high ground over here compared to the left, which is the low ground, which is where Anakin would be hanging out. We're going to go the Obi-Wan route up here on top. Take out these supply pads here, or whatever they are, supply silos. Grab those extra supplies. Why not? Make things a little bit easier, and then we are going to loop back down to the left once we take out these guys. Once there's no more threat, we'll go down here, and there are normally enemies down here, but I think I already took them out with my long-range snipers. Oh, there's a few more. Never mind, we'll take them out. Run away. Run away. I like to try to keep all 4 of these snipers alive. It just makes everything else easier. So I decided to retreat, re-garrison these guys, and now we'll move up here. We'll take this power node up here, so we can start getting some supplies in. So while I'm doing that, there are 4 mines around this power node, so take those out. Capture that, grab these supply pads, or supplies, just supplies, and the extra power line on the ground here. And you could do that while your 1 sniper unit is capturing that power node. But anyway, I do have more skulls on here. They are Pain Train, Bountiful Harvest, Emperor, Total Annihilation, Firestarter, Things That Go Boom, and Sugar Cookies. Those are skulls you always want to have on. They just make things a lot easier. You get supplies faster, your leader powers cool down faster, so you could use them a lot more. You get more hit points. Your units do more damage, I think. They definitely get more hit points, though. But just a bunch of various things that make the game easier. So throw those on. So that brings us up to 8 skulls. I do have the After Party skull on as well as a 9th skull, but that's totally unnecessary. I forgot that I didn't need that for this mission in particular, but I do have that on, so you'll see that come into play, but it doesn't really affect things too much. Take out these mines. You want to kind of inch your way through this area if you're not familiar with it, because there are these invisible mines that pop up as you get close to them. The snipers do detect them eventually, but they detect them a little later, so you have to get close to them, so you might accidentally walk into them if you're not paying attention. So this Spartan here, Jerome, took out a Warlord Chieftain, and since a Warlord is a leader, he blows up due to the, which skull is that? Things That Go Boom. So any leader that dies on the battlefield will blow up. So you can see I just sent Jerome ahead to kind of kamikaze into that group of enemies up there, and I let the snipers hang back and take out the remaining units. And then I threw the snipers up on the ledge there, and they take out all the units down there. And then that kind of cues the next section here. So 3 Kodiaks will land. We're going to have 1 sniper capture the node up here, and we're going to have him pick up Jerome on the way back because he'll regenerate, and we'll be able to get him back in our group once he takes a little nap over there. But we're going to move the 3 snipers up here and move 1 up here, right about there. And if you move them up there in that spot I have them in right now, the Kodiaks will actually start shooting at the base. Because the sniper has just enough sight line to be able to see that base, and the Kodiaks just like lay into the base, and you don't have to do anything. You can just sit here and wait for the base to blow up from these Kodiaks. So one thing you want to avoid doing is clustering a bunch of infantry, because it's very easy for those infantry to be taken out by a leader power, which I'm going to demonstrate by forming a little cluster of snipers right next to a Kodiak. And in the meantime, this is a smart thing you could actually do, is throw a turret down there. There's a deployable turret as a leader power, so that'll help the Kodiaks see the base here and continue firing it. It's not 100% necessary, but just to speed things up a little bit. And I decided to Archer Missile Pod, whatever it is, Archer Missile the base as well. So you can see here, since I had a big group of infantry, that tends to attract the glassing beam leader power from the opponent. So that's unfortunate. So that's something you don't want to do. That's an example of a bad strategy. So we're going to have to build some more snipers here. Unfortunately, it took out my Kodiak as well, so that's going to slow down us taking out the base. But just move a couple snipers there. And you want to put a sniper back in that one place I mentioned earlier so we could see the base. So you don't need too many snipers. I recommend upgrading your barracks, your infantry. So we already did that there. But really all you got to do is hang here. You only need like 2, 3, maybe 4 snipers. Don't go crazy because that will attract the glassing beam. It seems like the more units you have, the more infantry you have, the more likely a glassing beam will come into play. So we don't want to do that. So just have 2 or 3 snipers. They'll be able to take out all of the enemies that are coming at you. And also the Kodiaks start ignoring the base and they'll start firing at any enemies coming towards them as well. So they'll kind of prioritize the enemies coming at you. So you don't really need anything more than that. But anyway, we are close to taking out this base here. You could throw some ODSTs down there as well, like I did there. That will increase the sight line, increase the damage, obviously, that is being thrown on the base. And yeah, just kind of hang out here. Hang out for a while. Take it easy. So this is the first part of the mission, and there's going to be a longer second part. But you want to watch out for the fact that if these 2 remaining Kodiaks die, then the mission is over, so you'll go back to your last checkpoint. So be sure to keep an eye out on that. You can see I'm just rushing the end point here for this part of the mission. That's a bad idea generally. I was close to dying there. If I did die, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I could just build some more snipers and have the snipers go retrieve him, because as we all know, the Spartans never actually die. They just kind of fall over for a while, and then you could go get them back up. But my Kodiaks almost died there. You could see there was only 1 remaining. But fortunately, we made it. But just for a actual better strategy, you probably want to have a couple snipers hanging back with your Kodiak to protect them. But I didn't. I just bowled forward because I was in the interest of speed for this guide. Speaking of speed, you could tell that this video is sped up to 2 times speed to kind of decrease the time, because these videos could get a little lengthy. So I decided to, you know, try to cut down on these. You still get all the same information and strats, but in a shorter time frame. So build 2 turrets when you come upon this little mini base here. Park your Kodiaks right about there, and then have them shoot at the whatever it's called, the door shield generator there. Start building Kodiaks. The only thing we're going to build is Kodiaks for the rest of this mission. Maybe a Marine group or 2, just strategically to increase the sight lines of the Kodiaks. But for the most part, just build Kodiaks. And we're going to send Alice, the Spartan, up ahead here by herself. I sent my sniper to take that power node in front of the base. And you can see here, Alice is going to make quick work of these hunters and basically all the units in the area. I garrisoned her because you get increased sight lines just checking out the area. Now we're going to go up here to this garrison. And there's some carbine elites here. So we took out them quickly. The great thing about Spartans with the Pestilence skull is their health does decrease just like every other unit, but they also have a shield which is unaffected by it. So you could go kind of move them up, take out a bunch of enemies, and then retreat when their shield goes down. And then you could just retreat until the shield goes back up, and then go back at them again once you have a full shield. Kind of like Halo in the actual Halo games, quote unquote, the FPS games. So I sent my Kodiaks up ahead too soon. You should always lead with your Spartan. You can see I lost a Kodiak there, but it's not too big of a deal. We are going to move Alice up. You can see I deployed 1 Kodiak to the first point there. Now we got to get our Kodiaks to the 2 remaining points. So for leader powers, I like to use, I like to upgrade the drop turret. I like to upgrade my veterancy. I like to use that, which I just selected there. I forget what it's called, but it's the thing, the second most to the left thing. Very descriptive. But you can see I'm just setting up my Kodiaks there. I have a nice little cluster of Kodiaks. These turrets I like to upgrade to flamethrower and anti-vehicle, so anti-infantry, anti-vehicle, and that will completely safeguard your mini base, your original mini base back there for this Alice section, because they are so weak from the Pestilence Skull, and then the turrets make short work of them. The turret's health is not affected by the Pestilence Skull either, so that really helps out. So for here, I'm going to build a power supply, or a generator, whatever it is, and a field armory so I could start upgrading some things. You can see here I have my Spartan on the right, and I'm just kind of waiting for the units to come over there, because you can see there's a Warlord Chieftain and also some other units randomly thrown in there. So I have, I'm kind of using Alice as bait. So then once she started getting attacked, I ran to the left within range of my Kodiaks, and the Kodiaks pretty much did all the heavy lifting there. And now I'm going to move Alice right about there. You want to move her to that exact location, pretty much exact location. And she will capture that power node unhindered. If you move her to a different part of that power node, she will start getting shot at by a turret. So just to, in the interest of not having to deal with that turret at all, I just move her to that location. So she just captures it at her will, at her leisure. So now I'm going to start building some more Kodiaks as we go. And what I found is throughout this mission, I always played this mission building a bunch of snipers and a bunch of Cyclops and just anti-vehicle, anti-infantry units, flamethrowers. And I found that whenever you have a ton of infantry, it just invites the glassing beam and the other leader power that they use against you. But with Kodiaks only, for the most part, they don't really do that. My playthrough mission, my practice mission before recording this video, they didn't glass me at all, and all I had was the Kodiaks just like this. This playthrough, you'll see me get glassing beamed a couple times, but it's nowhere near on the scale if you have a huge group of infantry running around. So really, you just want to use Kodiaks, almost 100% Kodiaks, like this group here. So just keep moving up your Spartan, and as you do, you kind of move up your cluster of Kodiaks as well. So for the barracks, you can see right here, yeah, here's one of the instances of me getting glassed. And even this instance isn't as bad. If I had a bunch of infantry like I used to play with on this level, you lose your entire army. Just because the infantry are so weak, and they're so clustered together for the most part when you're just moving them from one place to another. They tend to move in a very small area, so they are very easy to kill all at once. So don't do that. Use the Kodiaks. And even without the Pestilence Skull, if I had a fully healthy group of infantry, they still all die for the most part, even without the Pestilence Skull on. So that is not good at all. So use the Kodiaks. Use the Kodiaks, my friend, and use the Spartan to kind of move up and increase their sightlines. Lead the Spartan. Lead with the Spartan. Roll up behind them with the Kodiaks. So I'm just moving my Kodiaks slowly and surely up here. I'm starting to build a bunch more. I'm kind of taking some time to breathe here and build more Kodiaks, upgrade whatever I need to upgrade, and then I will take it from there. So just hanging out right now. So you can see here I have the Spartan up here. Once some enemy units come into my sight line, the Kodiaks just lay into them. So I'm going to do that to take out these turrets as well. There's a couple turrets right up ahead flanking this doorway. Or it's not really a doorway, it's more of a, what is it? A break in the, it's like a pathway? I don't know. Who cares? You know what I'm talking about. You can see it right there. You can walk through it. So they're taking out those turrets very quickly. And we're good there. Okay. Now we're going to move, I'm going to move my Marine unit. I build a Marine unit every now and then just to help out with sight lines, but I don't really expect them to kill anybody. So I move up my Spartan to this mini base, and my Kodiaks will take them out. And I move my Marine unit down to the left, so we have both areas covered. And since the After Party Skull is on, a Wraith tank was generated when that mini base blew up. But again, you shouldn't really have the After Party Skull on. There's no reason to have it on for this mission for any benefits or anything, really. So I decided to hijack them, make quick work out of them. And you can see here I have the Marines down there for increased sight lines for my Kodiaks. And here, so these three Wraiths that are coming to attack me right now, they normally are down by the second area where you have to deploy a Kodiak, which kind of threw me for a loop here. They don't usually come up and around here. but they decided to, and I'm going to not realize that these are the wraiths that I'm going to need to take out down there. So you're going to see me slowly inch my way towards the second Kodiak area, even though I've already killed the wraiths here just now. But that's fine. Better safe than sorry. So I moved up my Kodiaks, or my big cluster of Kodiaks. Now I'm creating more. You want to build a garage here so you could just have a bunch of Kodiaks come out of here real quick instead of having them, have to travel all the way across the map from the first mini base. So I blew up my original garage, made a supply pad. Once you're done with the field armory. Once you're done with the field armory, you want to blow that up and put another supply pad there. Because the field armory is useless once you've upgraded everything. So you can see I'm kind of slowly inching my way up. Normally there's the 3 wraiths right here, which is what I was trying to get within sight of all the Kodiaks up on the ridge here, which would have just totally demolished them. But we already demolished them. I forgot. I didn't realize. So I have this one Kodiak. Gonna move him up to the second unit, or the second deployment area. And we have 2 of 3 placed. So now, oh, my Marine died. What a shame. That's alright. They're pretty much useless. I would like to have them alive, but, whatever. So, anyway. Oh, I didn't blow up my garage yet. We just blew it up there. Okay. Let's build some Kodiaks. Again. Let's move our Spartan up first, though. Because we want him ahead of us. So he could take all the hits for us. He's got that regenerating shield, so move him up about there. Move up your Kodiaks as well. Oh boy. Those locusts are annoying because they could shoot you from so far away. And you can't shoot them until you get closer. So, moved up those Kodiaks, or a bunch of them at least. Now we have the Spartan running around. The Spartan's almost dead. His shield's down, so I'm kind of running back and forth, hoping I don't get shot. But no big deal. Even if he did die, just send some Kodiaks, or maybe just send another, not Spartan unit, another Marine unit. Just send him up to retrieve the Spartan once he is regenerated. So no big deal if he dies, And also if he does die, he blows up because of the things that go boom skull. So if he does die, you want to try to have him die amongst a bunch of enemy units, so his explosion upon death will help you out a little bit. But no big deal either way. These Kodiaks will tear through everybody. And you can see I got glassed again in that one instance. I think it's whenever there's a cluster of units that include infantry. Because both times I got glassed here, and 3 times if you include the section when I was with Jerome, all 3 times the infantry units were among the Kodiaks. So it wasn't just the Kodiaks being glassed. It was always when there was at least 1 infantry unit in there. So I really think the glassing beam is attracted to infantry units. So keep your infantry away from your Kodiaks, is what I'm saying. So this part, I used the archer missiles to blow up the generator for the door shield. You could just use your Kodiaks to do that, but I decided to make quick work of it because that shroud actually shoots down your Kodiak missiles for a little bit. Oh, and I'm getting shot again. Getting shot a 4th time with the glassing beam. Alright, that's fine. Most of them are intact, and you can see again that I'm only losing 2, 3, 4 at most Kodiaks from the glassing beam. If it was just straight up infantry instead, like I was mentioning before, they would all be dead. And it would be super frustrating, which it used to be before I discovered this. So I'm going to send my Marine units and my Spartan in the back of the base there, just so they could kind of surround the base and give sight lines to the base, so my Kodiaks back here could shoot and destroy it very quickly and efficiently. And I threw a drop turret down, and I threw an archer missile attack down, and you can just throw down whatever you want. I would throw down some ODSTs, but I'm at max population. So now we're done. We just got to move a Kodiak to this 3rd place. One thing I will note is you probably want to place these Kodiaks in order. So you want to do one at the first area, then the second, and the third. I did one at the first area, and then one at the third area, and then one at the second area once, and it didn't work. For some reason, it wouldn't finish. It wouldn't let me finish the level. So do it in order. Do 1, 2, 3 when you're placing the Kodiaks. Don't do 1, 3, 2. I'm not sure if it screws it up every single time, but the one time it screwed up for me is when I did them out of order. So place your Kodiaks in order as you come upon them. But other than that, that is pretty much it for this one, guys. Very quick and easy with these skulls and this Kodiak heavy strategy. So click that like button and hit subscribe. Throw down some comments. And you can follow me on Twitter at HaloCompletion and on Twitch and Mixer at SilverScorpion4. And check out my podcast called HaloConversationalists. And I'll see you guys later for more Halo achievements.